A fourth impeachment complaint has been filed against Vice President Sara Duterte. Attorney Nathaniel Cabrera submitted the complaint and was endorsed by House Deputy Speaker Paulo Ortega and Manila 6th District Representative Benny Abante. Cabrera's complaint contains 7 articles of impeachment hinged on the following grounds: culpable violation of the Constitution, betrayal of public trust, graft and corruption, bribery, and other high crimes.
Walang vice presidenteng nagsasabi na may kinausap na akong taong handang pumatay sa isang presidente. That will always be an impeachable offense.
To help us unpack the implications of the fourth impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte, we're joined by former National Security Advisor and political analyst Dr. Clarita Carlos. Doc, thank you very much po for joining us.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, good morning sa inyong dalawa.
All right, Doc, let's start off po. Maybe you could educate us a little of the significance of this fourth impeachment complaint politically and legally against the Vice President.
Well, it is very obvious to somebody who's an IQ of 110 that where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. It will have to go through the proper processes and procedures there, and we'll see whether it will prosper and whether that can be elevated later to the Senate for trial and conviction and possible conviction. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
All right. And then what does the filing strengthen or weaken the case against the Vice President? This is the fourth, and of course, wala pa to sa Committee on Justice.
Well, nobody knows that. Impeachment is both a political and legal action. And for most parts, not only here, but elsewhere in the world where you have this process, it is more like a political action of the legislature. Mm-hmm. So there are too many moving parts, and anybody making a prediction is making a mistake.
And do you think, Doc, itong recent declaration ni VP Sara to run for president will have an impact on the way the congressman will decide this impeachment complaint?
Yeah, if you think sinister about it, I mean, people who will run in 2028 will have to think of the backlash of the public who are supporting Sara when they support impeachment complaint. So do you see all this? Too many loose ends right now, but if you connect them, if you crochet them together, then the big picture looms large, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, ang sinasabi nga po nila, yung kanyang sabi kahapon ng intensyon niya na pagtakbo sa presidente sa 2028 elections could solidify her support among lawmakers. And probably, sabi nila, maaaring yung mga 4 impeachment before ay maaaring magbago yun because medyo magkakaroon na talaga ng pag-iisip. What is your take on that?
Oh yeah, given the long history of turncoatism and opportunism in all agencies of our government, including the legislature, that is not surprising. That actually, Sara's advisors are also strategically thinking, and I was even thinking that they would even advise her to resign. Mm-hmm. You know, because if she resigns, then who is going to be impeached and is going to be convicted? Mm-hmm. So that means she has now nothing prevents her from running in 2028 because that seems to be the medium to long term long end game, isn't it? That seems to be the medium to the long term end state.
Right. It's good that you mentioned that because napansin po namin yesterday sa kanyang speech, nakatanggal po yung OVP seal from her back job. So, maaaring indikasyon daw po ito na baka doon siya pupunta sa path na yon, magre-resign na lang siya. That's why she already said na tatakbo siya ng pagiging presidente.
That is also my immediate conjecture, no? Mm-hmm. Yan agad ang naisip ko, magre-resign ito eventually. Because that will really pull the rug from everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
From under everybody, you know? Mm-hmm. And siguro, dun sa mga hindi masyadong nakikita ito, kasi I always think sinister. Ay tinitignan ko from the good to the most evil.
Yeah.
Right.
Nakita ko, pag resign ito, hindi na siya ma-impeach. Of course, I'm not a lawyer kasi, so I don't know if you can be impeached for something that parang yung si Duterte, yung tatay niya, for something we have done during that period when we were still linked to the ICC.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Maybe you should ask a lawyer for the legal perspective on this. Oo.
Well, Doc, also, moving forward, no, a lot are saying na hindi naman nakakagulat ang declaration ni VP Sara to run. Pero yung timing of which, plus na wala pa yung backdrop, yung, lead many to believe that she's trying to send a message because ang anticipation nila, a few months pa down the line, magde-declare daw si VP Sara eh. Napaaga daw bigla.
I think binalangkas na nila ito. I'm really not concerned about the lack of the logo of the VP. I'm more concerned in a larger scheme about how this will extend the campaign period from 3 months, starting when January or whenever, March, to 2 1/4 years, no? And what does it mean? What are the other things that concern us right now? Blatant corruption in practically all agencies of government.
That's right.
That is what we should be paying attention to. Like, look at you. I mean, so many of you want to interview me and you don't want to interview me in substantive things. You want to interview me on the declaration yesterday. Tignan natin to sa malawak na perspective. I am concerned about the future of this country. I am concerned about where we're going in terms of our politics.
Right. So what are the possible national security or governance implication of this prolonged political conflict? Kasi nga, talaga pong tuloy-tuloy po paggrabe ng paggrabe yung political standoff between the Marcos and the Dutertes.
I just hope the president puts stresses on do not stop looking at the ball, and the ball really it would be all the anti-corruption moves being done right now, which should have a conclusion. Pag wala na namang conclusion yan, tapos natabunan na naman ng more sexy and more, more insidious headlines, where are we na naman?
Right.
Binagsak niya, we'll drop the ball again. I mean, where are we? Ano? And ano na lang mo ipapakita natin sa ating mga tao? Let's not talk again about the international community. Where? I mean, I am sure I know, the level of outrage is up to there, isn't it?
And Doc, it's a good thing you mentioned that. We spoke to Senator J.B. Ejercito a few weeks back, and he has spoken to several investors down who are a little, who have made initial pledges, who are rethinking about pushing through with these investments due to the political climate. If we don't resolve these corruption issues in the next, at least see a path or a clear path of a resolution, do you think it will hurt our economy starting with the next few months moving forward?
Tremendously. You're not only looking at foreign investors, you are looking at local investors. Where are they investing? They're investing in Vietnam. They're investing in China. They are investing in an environment which is fairly certain. Because investors, they're not carrying a flag. They only want to invest their money where it will grow. Isn't it? Sa kanila, patriotism, nationalism, they are bad words. No, those are not basis for investment. So we are talking local, we're talking foreign. If the locals are just sitting back and standing idly by, what jobs will be created? When you don't create jobs, you're graduating thousands of them every graduation month. Yeah. Where are they going? Because if you don't have jobs, you know what that means. Both of you have jobs. You know what it means in terms of your self-worth. Suddenly, my self-worth is at the bottom of my feet, and I decide to think something not good. You know, I mean, multiply that millions over. How many graduates you are churning out of universities and colleges who cannot find any job? That's fine if they're nurses because they have some options. If they're medical workers, what about those who do not have such options? Can you imagine the social anomie, the alienation, the violence that will arise therefrom? That is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking writ large. I'm thinking this announcement yesterday, it's a small narrative. I'm thinking of the backlash to this and how it affects the many, many aspects of our political life. That is what we should be thinking about.
Right. And ngayon nga po, sabi nga nila, patuloy naman yung mga hearings, investigation, but until now, like what you pointed out earlier, ay wala pa rin naman talaga nananagot. But of course, ang sinasabi ng administration regarding this, mahaba ang proseso, they are just following processes and that hindi naman sila nagmamadali because baka in the end, meron nga silang mapakulong pero in the end, makalaya din. So what are your take on that?
Yeah, you're right, no? I have been a victim of our very, very slow justice system. And I know, hindi sila pwede magburara kasi sa dulo, talo din sila, hindi rin sila makapreso.
Right.
So wag din tayong manghingi ng madaliin nyo yan para may mapreso. Eh, yung mapreso ay hindi na. Dahil siyempre yan, may mga salapi yan para magbayad ng magigiting at natatalinong lawyers, di ba? Maya, andyan na yan. Diba? So let us not also do that. But at the same time, Boying Remulla is my student and I know his caliber. He's one of my top star students. No? I think he will do what needs to be done. And I think being the head of the DOJ, hindi ko alam kung sino head ngayon ng DOJ, dapat na pabilisin din naman ang justice, no? Corny man sabihin, justice delayed is justice denied.
Right.
Patay na nga yung tao, hindi pa natapos yung kaso.
Exactly.
Alam mo yun?
Saka, ma'am, kasi ang nangyayari po, kapag iba yung presidente, naiiba din po yung, may nakulong under a certain administration, pag napalitan, napapakawalan po yung napakulong.
Pinardon naman, no? Wow, nasaan ba tayo? I think we are in a worse situation than the United States right now. If I may say.
You think? Exactly.
Doc, I wanted to ask your opinion, Doc, about sinasabi nila might as well abolish daw the ICI and realign resources and funds towards the Ombudsman to solidify his units against yung mga certain infrastructure corruption issues. Ano po ang take nyo sa idea na yan na ibigay na lang yung pera na binibigay sa ICI to form a special unit within the Ombudsman?
Unang-una, dapat hindi yan tinatag. Kasi given all the relevant agencies right now, kayang-kaya naman nilang gawin yan. Nalulunod na tayo sa penal and civil laws that will cover all those things that they're investigating. Isa na lang tao yung natitira dyan, naglagas-lagas na silang lahat.
Yes.
Diba? Tama ka. Yan ang kanilang gawin, bumalik sila sa mga ahensya who have the relevant mandates, and huwag na tayong magdagdag ng salapi pa para ibibigay mo dyan sa staff niyan o kaya yung honorarium ng natitirang member, no? Ang hilig kasi natin, pag meron tayong problema, task force agad, gawa ng department,
That's right.
gawa ng institute,
Ad hoc
gawa ng
committees.
authorities. Wala na, namumunga na ng katakot-takot ng ahensya yung ating I've written a book on bureaucratic reform and I know whereof I speak. We are really just, yan ang unang-unang nireport nung nasa cabinet pa ako ni President Bongbong na parang second cabinet meeting namin na sabi niya, we are going to right-size the government. Eh, nagtaas ako ng kamay. Agad sabi ko, with all due respect, Mr. President, nobody will abolish himself. Nobody will merge himself or his agency. It has to be done by an external entity and preferably a presidential commission on right-sizing. Hindi naman niya sinunod yun. Pero nakita mo, where are we now?
Exactly.
Nagdagdag na naman ng department si Balisacan. Diba? Sanga-sanga na naman ng ating Bureau of Justice.
Parang yan, ma'am, yung gawa ng batas, ang dami na ng batas, di lang alam i-implement. Alright.
Yeah, tell me, no? Yeah, tell me. So, napakaraming nating suliranin. Pero ang magandang parte dyan, we are a very wealthy country in terms of our natural resources
That's true.
and in terms of our human resources. Ipagdugtong nyo lang yung dalawa yun, the human and the natural resources. We will be the leader of Southeast Asia and we will be a self-sufficient country. And we can stop all this build-up of missiles in our EDSA sites, supply depot in Subic. All this leaning and moving towards the arms of the Americans, we can all change this, no? And let us follow a policy of strategic autonomy. Wala tayong kinikilingan. I-review natin yung entity. I'm sorry if I introduce this national security perspective, but yes, why don't we do that? Pwede naman natin gawin yun. Napakayaman nating bansa, no?
Yeah, I
Kaya
agree.
maghanap tayo ng liderato who will put this together and make us great.
Oo,
And make us great, really.
Exactly.
Diba?
Tama po kayo dyan, ma'am. Actually, I wanted to ask you about yung issue din natin sa West Philippine Sea. It's that wala na po tayong oras. Hopefully, we can invite you again para po malaman namin yung iba pa po ninyong insight regarding
another time.
national security. But as always,
Oo.
maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, sa magaganda po ninyong insights, former National Security Advisor and Political Analyst, Dr. Clarita Carlos. Maraming salamat po.
Good morning. Good morning.